When I want to know about esports, I go to his channel. This is Steel and you're watching Thorin.
This video is brought to you by Gamersubs, or at least it is. If you'd like to save 10% off using the code Thorin, Thorin, at gamersubs.gg, you get 10% off everything on their website. That's normal Gamersubs. How about this flavour? Cherry limesicle. It's a really delicious sweet cherry. They have the caffeine-free Gamersubs. They have AFK blend to help you sleep. They have Gamer Teas. One of them's for sleep too. They have waifu cups. They have apparel. They have all sorts of stuff on there. Now, we are going to do the stage 2 pick'ems. So obviously, first things first, logically, I need to show you how I did in stage 1. Spoiler, didn't get the coin. I mean, then again, who the fuck watches the level of CS that was in stage 1? It was a disgrace, stage 1. So if we go back to stage 1 a second, I got 4 and you need 5. So I got Heroic 3-0, Metasport 0-3, OG getting through, BetBoom getting through, and that's it. That's because I had Wildcard 3-0. Just thought they'd have a chance. I didn't know how good bait would be on land. That's why I just put them there. Obviously, that means I didn't get bait because I didn't have them in here and they went 3-0. I took Chinggis Warriors. By the way, that could have happened. That was just the battle of the bad, wasn't it? That was the famous South Park fight with the crippled guy. I took Imperial because when I looked at who they might play, it just seemed plausible. Still don't hate that one. I took FlyQuest because you just think to yourself, they've got so much experience at Tier 1 land. Surely they could win a few BO3s against nobodies. The Cole one, I regret a little bit because CS2 is about firepower and they lost in theory, probably their second best player, the best player over aggregate over the last few years. But you thought to yourself, come on, the structure's still there. They've got so much experience again themselves. And you're going to be playing BO3, so okay. So if you put the picks back on, here's the difference though. You look at who did get through. I wouldn't have picked any of these teams. I guess there's a world I could have picked Fluxor to go 0-3. It's not that likely though. I wouldn't have picked Bait to go 3-0 because I don't know how they do on LAN. I wouldn't have, I also don't think they've got a generational fragger. I wouldn't have picked Namiga because they're more of an online team. Tyloo, I just find very, very hard to know how good they're going to be. Lin Vision, I don't even think is good even now. And Legacy, I think is just kind of whatever. So a lot of this, in my opinion, is just the failure of the bigger names, isn't it? So, okay, whatever. We continue on, stage 2. Right, what I'm going to do, as I told you on the last video, is before you do this, you have to run the simulator. So let's go do that. Now, when you run the simulator, you'll notice I'm using the majors.im simulator. There's also technically the Blast simulator and there's a HLTV one. It's just when I looked at it, despite HLTV claiming theirs is the best one, I mean, I haven't done some in-depth research to find out, but actually this one seemed fine to me. It seemed like it did generate the matchup, so I don't even know what the issue is. So what we're going to do is, obviously, classic mistake. People think to themselves, oh, wait a minute, that means Falcons. No, you have to set the matches. Then the simulator can tell you what happened. It isn't really simulating it. I think what confuses people is, if you ever see those football simulators or UFC ones, that's where they have a computer game, basically play out the game or the match and then tell you who won in the simulation and how many times it's simulated. This only simulates it once you put your input in. Otherwise, just the higher seed wins every time. And obviously, some of the seeding can be scuffed because it's the major. So we're going to go through each match and do it pretty quickly. Now, one thing I will do, especially because now it's the real teams, is I'll actually give you a little bit more analysis of the actual potential map angles, because obviously for BO1s that is enormous. So let's go look at a few of these, shall we? Right. Falcons against Bait, I don't even need to check anything. Falcons will win that one. FaZe Clan against Heroic, I think FaZe Clan is actually the better team. Heroic's not bad. I just think that FaZe Clan's better. Obviously in a BO1, certainly Heroic can win, but I think I take FaZe Clan for that one. Obviously firepower angle for there. And by the way, you don't actually always know how the dead team buff works. If you don't know, some bias is going to leave this team apparently for G2. Sometimes that makes people play worse. Sometimes it makes them play better. This is just one player leaving the lineup, so kind of hard to tell on that one. But I'll take Heroic for that one. 3D Max against BetBoom. I actually think I am going to take BetBoom to win that one. I actually also did a bet on that, but I just think Let me think. Yes, I think the map pool makes sense because to me, BetBoom's got a bit more skill. 3D Max a bit more structure and recent LAN experience, more long-term LAN experience on BetBoom. So I'm going to take BetBoom to win that one. VP against OG, I think VP wins. Pain beats Namiga. Furia. I mean, I took Lin Vision as a gamble against them when I bet. But I do think that Furia probably should be favoured for that one. You just think of the players they've got. I mean, Kate's alone couldn't you be a one. MIBR should beat Legacy. And I think I would actually say Tyloo should be favoured over M80 right now. Don't know that this new M80 line has shown me enough. Then in the next round, Falcons plays Tyloo. Falcons wins that one. I don't even need to look at that. FaZe Clan against Bet Boom is interesting. So let me just go along and have a quick look at that. It's mainly for the Bet Boom side. Because if I'm thinking of FaZe, Bet Boom's best maps are Train, Anubis, and then possibly Nuke. So actually, I don't know. No, I think you take FaZe Clan for that one. VP against MIBR. So it's mainly the MIBR side because they both got weak map pools. But the key thing here is MIBR is really weak on some maps. Inferno, Nuke, Train, Ancient, they're all sketchy as fuck. So I've got to say, I'll probably take VP for that one. Pain versus Furia. Oh, this is tough. Because in theory, I want to take Pain, but I haven't seen enough yet to think they will actually necessarily win. So I think I'll take Furia for now. Also, it feels like when Furia play fellow Brazilian teams, they just big brother them. 3D Max against Legacy, it should be 3D Max. Although, let me double check something actually for that one. Let me just double check something about Legacy's map pool. Right, so Legacy's best maps are Mirage, Inferno, and Nuke. Mirage, Inferno, and Nuke. No. Because that means Inferno's one of your maps. No, 3D Max wins that one. M80. Listen, Tyloo might beat them, but I don't think Lin Vision beats them. So I'll say M80 wins that one. Bait against Namiga should be Bait. Heroic against OG should be Heroic. So that means in the 2-0 game, I'm obviously taking Falcons to beat Furia. FaZe Clan against VP. I mean, if it's really VP, then FaZe Clan can win that. It's just plausible FaZe Clan can 3-0. Bet Boom against M80. I think I would take Bet Boom for that, but let me just check something about M80's map pool. So M80 wants Ancient, Dust 2, and Mirage. Ancient, Dust 2, and Mirage. VP will play you on Dust 2. Maybe Mirage. They do play quite a lot of Ancient. But I just think they're fundamentally a better team, though, aren't they? Oh, it's Bet Boom. What am I talking about? Wait a minute. No. What am I talking about for a second here? M80. Oh, I've mixed up the teams. I did VP instead of Bet Boom. That's it. I needed to look at Bet Boom. There we go. Bet Boom. So they want Anubis, Train, Nuke. Anubis, Train, Nuke. Anubis, Train, Nuke. I mean, he doesn't play Nuke and Anubis. So I actually feel like that might be an M80 angle. I'll put Bet Boom for now. Tyloo against 3D Max. 3D Max should win that. Pain against Heroic. I mean, I've got to go for Heroic for now, I think. MIBR against Bait. Oh, these are BO3s as well, by the way, so I almost certainly should have taken the two favourites there. MIBR against Bait is a really tricky one. Like, people know I think MIBR has more skill, but Bait is probably a better team, so I think I'll take Bait for now. OG beats Legacy. Namiga beats Lin Vision. BO3s. Furia against Bet Boom. Let's look at what the veto would be for that. Let's just look at what Furia picks. So Furia bans Ancient and pick Train. Bans Ancient and picked Anubis. Bans Ancient and picked Anubis when Train was out. So they ban Ancient and pick Train, basically. Although that might have been a cheeky angle because it was one of their first lands, first couple of lands at least. So if I go to Bet Boom. Banning Ancient against them's not really that great. Picking Train isn't great either. They're really good on Train. Okay. But the problem is, though, I think Furia probably should still be better. They've got better players, so I think I'll take Furia to win that BO3. I can't believe I'm actually taking Furia to make it through, but they are against Bet Boom, to be fair. VP against 3D Max. Now, this is a classic if you've ever seen it. I'm going to take VP, but that's tentative. I think 3D Max is just one of the few teams that lets them play the maps they like. Bait against Heroic. Now, this is tough. Because it's all about how his Bait can actually perform on LAN. It's not really about the map pool as much. So let me think about this. Let me see if there's an angle here. Let's see what Bait actually picks whenever it's available. So Bait bans Nuke and picked Dust 2. Banned Nuke, picked Mirage when Dust 2 was unavailable. Banned Nuke, picked Mirage when Dust 2 was unavailable. So they banned Nuke and picked Dust 2. And Heroic removes Inferno, picks Anubis. And later on removes Dust 2, removes Inferno, picks Train. Removes Inferno, pick the Ancient. Oh, they're willing to switch up that. In that case, I'm going to take Heroic. Because Heroic's shown they're actually willing to switch up their pick, which is key for me in a BO3 at this level. So I'll take Heroic there. Tyloo against Namiga is really tricky. Oh, let's just think about this veto really quickly, I guess. What does Tyloo actually pick? So Tyloo bans Dust 2, picks Inferno, bans Dust 2, picks Inferno, bans Dust 2, picks Train, and Inferno was left over. So Inferno and Train. So they ban Dust 2, and they are against Namiga. I don't actually know that much about Namiga on LAN is obviously the main issue. I've only seen a little bit. So Namiga likes Dust 2, but that's going to be banned. It's actually one of their best maps with massive volumes. That's already really excellent, actually, for the side of Tyloo. Oh, I think this is I think I'm going to have to give this to Tyloo. Pain Gaming against M80. I'll take Pain Gaming. I think that makes sense. Let me have a quick look. I'll just quickly think this through. M80 takes out Nuke, picks Ancient, takes out Dust 2, picks Ancient, but that's because VP bans Nuke. So Nuke priority, removes Ancient. Right, so it looks like it's Nuke and pick Ancient. And Dust 2 is a backup. So remove Nuke and pick... Wait, I did it wrong. Remove Nuke and pick Ancient. Right, remove Nuke and pick Ancient means... Wait, what the fuck am I talking about? I've already had them losing. Oh, I've just gone back and looked over. Never mind that. So 3D Max against Pain. 3D Max wins that. MIBR beats Bet Boom. Bait beats Tyloo. Wait a minute, have I lost track or something? Was I on Pain versus M80? Is that what I was doing? Tyloo beats Namiga. Pain. M80. I think Pain should win that. MIBR. Will they beat OG? I'll probably take OG right now, actually, I think. So then I have Bet Boom against Tyloo. I'll take Bet Boom. Bait against OG. I'll take Bait for now. Pain Game against 3D Max is spicy, though. It's actually all about what Pain Gaming will pick, I think, for this one. Let me think about that. The problem is Pain Gaming is dog shit on Dust 2, so that's going to be a problem for them. Yeah, they're really weak on the maps that 3D Max are good at. I'll take 3D Max for that one. So from the simulator, I have FaZe and Falcons. And then I have Heroic VP Furia. And then I have Bet Boom, Bait, and 3D Max. And then all three, I have Lin Vision and Legacy. Now look, picking Legacy to come last place might seem hard, but you have to realise they play MIBR. That is winnable, I will say. But if they lose that, by the way, if they win that, they play VP. I think they'll still lose that. I think they'll lose to 3D Max, and then I have them losing to OG. I think that's pretty legit, actually. So let's go actually and look at how we translate that over to here. So I had FaZe and Falcons as my teams go through. Falcons is a really easy team to put 3-0. They've got a very good chance of doing it. I don't even think they're going to get beaten in the BO1s, quite frankly. I think FaZe is more questionable. But if you didn't take FaZe, who are you taking? Some people would say Heroic because they're on hot form. Aside from that, there's no one obvious. I think I'll also take FaZe for that. It's all good. Could see them losing the BO1, but I think they're going to be fine aside from that. And then I'll go through all the teams. So we'll do the 0-3s now as well. So based on the simulator, I do think it's pretty legit to do the Lin Vision one. I think they're the worst team in this area, in the entire field. And then I'm going to take Legacy based on how the veto goes. But it could also, in theory, be... Could be an Amiga. I don't know about the new Pain. They haven't performed yet, so it could also be them. But I'll say I think they'll be good. There's a world it could be an M80. I don't think Tyler has to worry. So I think I am going to take Legacy for that one. Now the teams in the middle here. I think just based on who we've got here. 3D Max I do think is fine to make it through. But I had them going through as a 3-2. But I think they can make it through. VP, I actually think just because of this field's decent enough. Pain, I mean, I like them as a team, but I don't think they're going to get through. Furia, when I look at the simulator, they can make it through, and they probably should out this field. They're at least in the middle area for this one. MIBR probably shouldn't make it through. M80, I don't think will make it through. I think Bait can make it through. I think that's plausible. Heroic should make it through. I say it should. They haven't played enough lands yet, but I think you look at the quality that they've got and you look at the firepower. The Today guy alone, you've got some Pious. There's some legit players here. Bet Boom's questionable, but I think they can sneak through. OG, I don't think will make it through personally. And Amiga, I don't think will make it through. So there we go. I guess we'll do all these. So we'll go... What order would I put these in? I guess I would go like VP, Furia... Actually, maybe I should have done that. No, I'll do it this order. Heroic, 3D Max, Bait, and then Bet Boom. You could swap Bait and Bet Boom around. I mean, a key thing to consider is, in theory, VP is going to be shadier when they get to the BO3s, but crucially, I think they can be at 2-0 game already. Because they would play against OG and then MIBR, so I think it's very winnable. So then they'll only need to win one BO3, so I think they're going to get through. MIBR just has two weaker map pools, so they really need the BO1 wins, and I think they can beat Legacy, but I don't think they'll beat VP personally. So then as a result, then they'll be in a 1-2 game against Bait. That's a winnable game, but will they win it? The BO3s is where they're going to struggle. I think M80 will struggle in BO3s. No one really knows what the new pair are. I think they'll be decent. OG may be a sleeper here. Just not really a big believer in most of their players. I don't think Namiga can do it. I don't think Tyler's good enough, quite frankly. Like, who are they going to beat in BO3s? I had them beating Namiga, and that's it. So I think that is who I'm taking. I think that makes the most sense. Lock it in. Lock it in. Now, the ones I'm most confident in, I think this is extremely likely. I think it's also extremely likely. I'm fairly confident in that one. I think VP, yes. Fury, yes. Heroic, yes. The rest are more of a gamble. Those three are a gamble. These four are my big gambles here. I could have swapped some of these in and out. I could have taken a Pain. I could have gambled on OG. I could have taken a Tai Lu. On the bottom, I could also have put like an Amiga last place potentially. That's not even impossible, I don't think. They play Pain into Bait, into Lin Vision. It's plausible they can lose all these games. So I think this is my picks. Oh yeah? You and whose army? Well, how about the Skrilluminati for one? They're the people who support my content. This video was kindly supported by The Concept, Matt, Pugnatio, Rajcula, Thooorin, Jensen Goh, Tosh, Jasun, Banediesel, Animosity, and you know it, everyone does. A special thanks goes out to my main man, Jerky's Minion, for the long-term support. Do you want to ask a question for my AMA videos? Would you like teasers? Find out what upcoming guests I've got? You want to suggest a topic or a guest? Maybe you want to be part of one of those 1 hour lengthy online discussions I do where the topics are set by you. Well, if any of these perks or more tickle your fancy, I think you know what to do by now. Put your money where your mouth is and join the Skrilluminati, where Patreon link in the description below.